So, welcome back to this live coding session where we implement a HTTP server from scratch for my personal website. Yesterday we left off finishing the OpenSSL implementation or integration into our HTTP server such that we can have encrypted traffic. And we also started implementing a put endpoint where we can put some articles for blogs, for example. And this is where we actually will start today. Finishing this, trying to be able to put some articles onto the server using the endpoint, and ultimately being able to update the content of the pages remotely. Okay, so let's switch the scene and go and open up a new Tmux session. Okay, C, such that we can make it a little bigger. And okay, so let's see where we left off. 1 second. Okay, so we left off implementing some authentication with respect to so we implemented some authentication, checking a password hash, and I made this here uppercase, but I think I want to make this actually lowercase because it's not a constant at all. We load it at the very beginning, the very start of the server. So where did we put that? Put password hash, put password, put password hash, password hash stir. Why do we make that uppercase? Password hash stir, password hash stir. Also this password hash stir, put password hash and password hash stir. Okay. Anywhere else? So when we get a put request, we call handle put request, and in here, if we are able to authenticate then we want to put the target onto this. And yeah, so the idea is, let's close this. The idea is exactly this. So we have some articles folder, and from our client we can put articles using that endpoint with the given password, which is 1234 for now, but we will change that in production, of course. So So let's actually try to implement this. And for this, we can just assume that we put the actual HTML, I guess. Or should we put some other things in here? I mean, we could also put some markdown file, call it article MD, where you have some heading, article, title. But then we would also need to implement a converter to HTML. Yeah, but the thing is really in our articles.html or on our landing page, we want some section. So we want a section where we have like article 1, and then the first few paragraphs, article 2, and article 3, and article 4. So we want some preview in this. And we'd have to generate the preview out of the HTML, which can be done. Or we just do this markdown thing. This markdown parser. I think I like this. So we could put some markdown files and then implement something that is capable of turning these markdown files into HTML files. What we could also do is yeah, we can do this. But we could also tell the we'd also tell it the title and the preview. I think I think we should just start actually doing it. The question also is, how do we name these? How do we name these? If we put one I'm actually not so sure. So let's maybe first say that we have some articles folder. articles. And this is the articles folder path, or articles path, articles. And in here, then we define this. And at the very beginning, we need some so this would also be something that has to be destroyed. And also is calling creating a new file thread safe. Is it thread safe to, like when we have two threads that try to write something, is write thread safe in Linux? So I think we could check out the man page. Thread. And among the effects that should be atomic cross threads. So there's no mentioning of thread safety. We could protect it with a mutex. Where multiple threads are simultaneously writing to the same file descriptor. Okay, so it seems like it's not really thread safe. Sharing socket descriptors between threads. So we would open a file descriptor for this folder and then use it to we could also have some thread that is specifically responsible for for managing these articles here. But is that something we want? We could also just acquire some articles resource and call it a day. Maybe we create a new file, articles.h. So if not define articles h, define this, and if and here create a new file, articles cpp, include the articles.h. And yeah, articles. Here we could say if not define articles path, define articles path articles. So this is the default value. And if go to our main.cpp and remove this. Include the articles.h. And here we want to say something like, I mean, in the very beginning we also we also want to cache the articles. How do we do this? How do we want to do this? Maybe /var/static. And destruct article resource. Articles resource. How do we do this? I mean, if we think about this, we want to generate in here some thing. We also want these articles to be in the file cache. So maybe these HTML files go up here. And the markdown files are in there. Then you would also have to restart the server, or at least update the cache. Not so sure right now how we do this. Or we just put the entire thing there. I mean, the articles are or we just say we actually put the entire HTML file. So our file cache also has a problem with things that don't fit in here. Does it even need the allocator? Okay, so we okay, let's just start off and try to put something on there. So let's go into articles.h and let's say, is it safe to share file descriptors across open dir? Create file in dir Linux. Open dir. Open dir, and scandir, dirfd, open. So the open expects the file name. Open file inside dir Linux. There has to be something. Fopen. Open dir. This is kind of not what I was expecting. Guard. And it probably, yeah, I thought you can scandir. No. Set current dir. Change dir. We could do this, or we have to join the paths, which is also possible. I mean, this is the articles path, and inside this one we want to, so the path car, the path buffer, and this is the size of the articles path plus 256. Uh, 255 because we have, no, 256. And we could also make, yeah, no. So let's have an init method that takes an articles resource and I think that's just the void. No. Include the types. Ooh. And init it and destroy it. Which probably also returns a I16, and then put article gets an articles resource, and I mean, do we need the mutex? Probably. So put article into this, and we have some car star buffer and usize, buff size, buffer length, or just length, I don't know. You have to call, yeah, we don't have to specify a name in the header file. So put article, let's just do this. I mean, we might not need the mutex, but yeah. So on this article, okay, here we just want to say stir and copy, which is defined in string. So in articles, so include string.h. And I think this doesn't include the, yeah, this byte here. Yeah. So stir and copy, result, path buffer, the articles path. With the size of the article string articles path. this could be a constant. We could also do something like no, it can't be a constant because we want to change it later on. So stern copy. Maybe include assert.h. Assert. I think it returns -1 on failure. Yeah. Okay. Second. Okay. We start this as 0. We also have to initialize the mutex. So pthread mutex init. The result in the guard null. So if this is equal to -1, return -1. This should just crash the program, I guess. So we initialize the mutex. On destroy, we destroy it. So pthread mutex destroy. This doesn't get a null. So this is the result. Articles result. I don't know. Result. Resource. The buffer. I mean, the question now is, should we have a list of articles? Or do we just read them all in using the let's just for now put all of it into this folder. Okay, so let's say i16. Is it an i16 or an I? Is a Linux file descriptor 32-bit? Was it 16-bit? Yeah, let's just make it 32. I don't know if we actually said that these are 16-bit. FD. Oh no, 32-bit. FD is equal to open. Okay, so first we have to mem copy no, so first we have to find the title. Okay, so first, maybe we have something like our struct article. And the article has a title and a body. So body, I don't know. This is also a problem. Which we don't want to tackle right now, that these can be of arbitrary size. So in our articles, we first have to parse an article. How do we want this to work? I'm not so sure how we want this to work. So we want articles to be pushed. We have to determine the name. So we probably have to somehow come up with a name and with a body. And for this we have to define a article format. So it's more like article, put parse article. Or it is included in we just pushed the HTML file. It would be nice to have it in Markdown. Okay. So mem find new line. Mem find cur. We probably want to find a new line. Yeah, first of all, we want to determine the title. No, but the title should not determine the file name. Okay, maybe we provide some article, so file name. And this is node is the caller has to ensure that the file name does not exceed 256 characters, and we copy into the resource path buffer plus the size of articles path -1. And here we could also say a mem copy size of -1. This is a void. And path buffer we now copy into the path buffer the file name, and it's more like a string copy, and this is the file path length. Now let's see file path length. This is defined in file cache.h, so let's include that as well. So in articles, we also do that. So file path length. I think a -1. So include cache articles. Copy the file name into this, and then we have the path buffer. So I16 if this is equal to -1, turn, oh no, file view size, file name length, buffer length. So we copy the file name length. So the caller doesn't have to ensure it if the file name length is greater than the file path length. Return -1, and then we just mem copy this. And then we open the resource path buffer. And we close it as well. So if fd, I don't know where's the return value, so -1. If fd is equal to -1. Okay. So here we want to write into this file descriptor the buffer with its buffer length. If this is equal to -1, if this is not equal to, I think this returns how many bytes were transferred. So if this is not equal to the buffer length, return -1 and return 0 at the end. So this would put our article in our main. Handle put request. Handle put request. So when we authenticate, we obviously need some articles resource. We need some articles resource. And we also have to query the hash map. So has file name, this is a string, file name, I think we also define this in HTTP, so define string HTTP custom headers. Prefix it with an X, so X file name. So expect some file name. This is the file name header name. File name header name. File name header hash. File name header hash. With the file name header hash. When these headers are present, then if this is not present, has file name then get empty response bad request and return. We could also make this a go-to, but I don't know. Okay, so when we have a file name, we just say put article or resource, and then it needs a file name pointer, file name length. It also needs a buffer, which is I think this is the message body. So the message body and the pointer and the content length int. I think this is it. So if this is equal to -1, then we want to do the same thing here. So there's a comment pattern here. This gets very bloated. We could make a method for parsing the actual content. So void parse content, GP response, or not parse content, but get content, GP request. No, not really. Or yeah, it could be get content. Something like a car star get content. And then from the request, this could also be this. And then we try to do all of this. And no. So let's leave it like this for now with the duplication. So let's leave it like this. We want to put an article with the content length, and this is more like an internal server error. Internal server error. So in HTTP we can add this. internal server error 500. Internal server error response. A string replacement. CMag preprocessor. Placing text macros. VA opt. Okay, we could do something like a status line. Count define status line. Give it a name and a value and a status code. And I don't know if this works. So this puts, I think this Can we do this? This is a message. So when you have this, it puts C preprocessor concat strings. Does that work? Can you concat strings? Concatenation. Stringizing. Stringizing. Deep. Warning. Standard error. Does that just work? Concatenation. 2 tokens. Quit comment. Help comment. What is underscore comment? Name. This is quit. This name concatenated with comment. That works. So we could say something like const expr car name is equal to HTTP 11200 concatenated with status code, and I don't know if we need that space here. Does that work? Make HTTP, make HTTP server. Let's try to make this. Okay. Let's try to make this work. So in main, put article. So there's probably we forgot in the make file articles.o mem articles global. It depends on types, it depends on string.h, and it depends on the file cache .h. This depends on the articles.o and the articles.o, and here we also have the articles.h. Okay. Put article should exist. Okay, so it is a car star, a use size. It is a car star and a use size. Car star use size, and the resource. Car star use size, So this is correct. File name, header hash. Fill name. Handle put requests. Okay, we obviously need some articles resource is probably something that is provided through this articles resource, and then this resource handle put request and the resource. In our something is wrong here. Okay, so no syntax highlighting for me. Nice. Here, want to acquire the articles resource. So articles resource resource. We can also do it in serve. Get the file cache and articles resource. The return -1 is also wrong here. Yeah. So resource articles. Probably wrong. Order. So articles resource is, and then we init the resource, and at the server, oh, this can fail. Articles, if this is equal to -1, we return -1. When we spawn the threads, we say current arc resource equal to resource, and that's that. Here also destroy the resource. Okay. Articles should exist. Init resource articles resource destroy okay. No. Resource get hash file name header other way around, string star from type const string to this auth header hash. Oh, it's the other way around. So it's file name header hash and file name header name. Okay. No matching call for destroy. Okay, so we forgot a semicolon. And in HTTP, this is the file name header name. In our main, we have the message body. This is obviously dot. File name is a string. Okay. Close was not declared. So in articles, include fcntl. I thought it was this. fcntl. Make clean. pthread mutex p. Okay. We also have to include pthread. Okay, open. Append. Create. Create we need, and we also want to write to it. Trunk. Write. RD only. Maybe create is enough. So close it doesn't find. Uni standard. Pthread mutext. It requires a reference to that. And in destroy as well. Converting a string constant to char star. What if we just tell it to? So GDB, let's test this. GDB to HTTP server. Break at put article. Run. And curl-x, curl-v-h. It needs authorization 1 2 3 4 and curl dash header. How you define headers again? Header. Okay, so dash h this, dash h this, x file name article1 dot md dash x put localhost 8080 slash add article and put some data. Hello world. Okay, we are now here. File name length. Okay. Add file name length. Okay. Print the path buff. Resource path buffer. Okay, there's obviously a slash missing, so this won't work. Articles. Quickly add that. Break at put article. Run. Maybe try get a 404. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't work. If we have no content length, it doesn't work as well. But if we have something, we are here. And print the resource path buffer. Okay, so we also need to greater, so here greater than or equal to, and then we also say star resource path buffer plus size of articles path -1 plus file name length is equal to the null terminator. So this obviously won't work as well. So break at put article and run and test it and print the resource path buffer. Slash. Okay. So next. Ooh. Okay, because we don't have this directory probably. So I'll make dir -p var www static articles. Okay, let's try it again. Break it, put article, run, try to get, here, next, print the resource, path buffer, static articles, Okay, it worked. Okay. Override flag open Linux. Oh, write only. Okay, so we have to also put write only. Break it, put article, run, do this, next. Okay, so now we should have something. Okay, so now ls/var www static articles. We now have article1.md. Let's cat it, and it has hello world. Nice. So this actually works. We can put files onto our server using the put request. I wonder why that worked. So that should not have worked. Oh, so this overwrites the file. Is there a flag that if it exists we don't wanna? So what is trunk? Create. No follow. Oh, path. No. Oh, temp file. If the file already exists and is a regular file and the access mode allows writing, it will be truncated to length 0. The file is a okay, so probably we want trunk as well. So let's try it again. And cat var www static articles article. Okay, so I think it still worked. CC clang. I don't know. So we should now have a HTTP server that actually works, I guess, and can handle put requests, put the files onto this. Oops. Onto the server in that directory, and that is quite nice. I wonder why. Okay, so now it works again, the syntax highlighting. So what do we do next? We have now a server that can take these articles, and now we probably want to update the file cache. Oh no, also in articles we initialized the mutex but never really thought about acquiring the mutex here. So try to acquire the mutex. Lock the resource, so resource guard and pthread unlock mutex unlock. So let's make a new article that is called 2. Article 2 that has also hello world in there, and then we say something else. Oh, so some of the truncate, I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so now in our file cache, this cache can be updated. So this cache also needs a mutex. So we want to update the file cache when there is a new article and put it into Why don't we just leave it like this for now? To do here is what if a file didn't fit? Then we return 404 at the moment, which is not what we want. Didn't fit into the cache at initialization. Okay. So I have to pee, and I'll be right back. So I think we have to make this file cache okay, so it also has these entries. And it has the content handle. So we need all of these files, which is at the moment max static files, which is defined as 16, which is not that much. We can make this 128. So the articles should be some static file, and we want to generate them from the markdown file. Build our file cache should have this memory. Arena allocator file cache memory. The file cache should have this memory in here. So when we say want to init it, we want to init. Here we say file cache arena allocator file cache memory. We say file cache memory, the file cache memory. Okay. And we probably want some method of pushing to the cache. And this can fail. The file cache star file cache. If the file cache length is equal to the max static files, then we return -1. Otherwise, we say our file cache so let's say file handle entry. How do we call it? File handle entry. File handle entry star entries equal to file cache plus entries handles plus file cache length star entry is equal to, or maybe say entry So what do we push? We probably just push the entire. Do we push the entire thing? So maybe we push the the path buffer. Maybe the file name. Okay, so we need this here. Then we copy the file name, copy the static file thing in there, memcopy the file name, path buff plus size of static folder -1, the file name into this with usize file name length, file name length, and then we try to open the path buff with read only, and we say i32 file descriptor if fd is equal to -1, return -1, and then we try to read. No, first we have to say stat struct stat file stat, and we say stat and this I don't want the struct. Okay. So stat requires a path name, the stat buff, so path buff and the file stat. And here's read so now we have to allocate. Go to car star allocate. So this is not required anymore. We allocate with the file cache memory. So allocate with the file cache memory, and we want to allocate file stat st size size of car. Okay. And if content handle is equal to void star car star -1. Otherwise we want to read into the content handle file descriptor into the content handle with the file stat.st size. I32n is equal to this. If n is not equal to file stat.st size, return -1. So here we can say star entry, no entry. Don't know which fields were there. File name. We say mem copy into this the file name with the file name length. If file name length is greater than or equal to max, no, file path length. Okay. Copy this into this. Then we say entry content handle is equal to content handle, and entry file size equal to file stat.st size. Okay. And obviously file cache length ++ and file cache. You can push something into this. And when we push, so obviously this can lead to race conditions. So we have to make a mutex here. So so the init can fail. Init mutex init file cache guard. If return -1. We also need a destroy method then. File cache pthread mutex destroy. So maybe just return this. Da-da-da-da-dum. let's destroy. Doesn't need any of this. Oh, it was also already there. So in our main, we init the file cache. Where do we init the file cache? Ooh, build static file cache. Okay. So build static file cache. Did it call init? No. So init if init file cache memory. Red val -1. Go to server cleanup. This now does not need the file cache memory anymore. How do we know that this was initialized? Cannot know. I mean, at some point. This is also just available in this scope here. So destroy. I bet that this won't work. Init file cache arena allocator file cache guards. Pthread mutex t guard. Oh, I put that guard there, so that was stupid. Pthread mutex include pthread.h. Allocate oh. No, this should be a reference. Pthread mutex init got the null here. File cache. File cache memory. Push. What? Use of undeclared identifier? So why? Are you kidding me right now? Use of undeclared identifier. Well, it is declared. I love the C compiler errors. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I called it results. Okay, now it works. Okay. So I guess let's test if it still does produce this. Okay. And now we should in theory be able to push onto this file cache. So introduce the concept of present and not present entries. So if it's not present, we have to evict it from the cache. So we have to evict something from the cache. Okay. So we can now put things onto the server. Now what's left is obviously trying to, oh no, mouse is gone again. So what's left is actually converting to HTML, the markdown to HTML, and saving it in a file. let's say const expr max. We also need to put to implement templating. So we need some way of notifying our file cache when not so sure how we do this now. Unsure. Title size. So this is the title with the title size. And it also has a preview. So we need some way of updating the index file that it maybe subscribes to this resource here. So maybe a file handle can subscribe to resource. So let's say we have an index page. We have an index page. And this index page subscribes to a resource with referencing articles, for example. And every time, so this puts out a reference to our article resource. And every time and every time this a new article is put here, so we update this. So we have some subscribers, and these subscribers it's probably just a file handle entry, and yeah, we'd have to implement some templating at this point. And also maybe the size of this actually changes. The size of, so we might have to evict this whole thing and try to acquire a new one. So our file cache probably has to be a needs a general purpose allocator. Because this here can grow in size. Unknown size. Okay. So probably this articles resource here has a list of subscribers. So let's say file handle entry star and let's just make it U8 max subscribers. Let's make it 16, I don't know. Subscribers, max subscribers. And we can say add subscriber. Maybe a subscriber also has some kind of offset where you want to write. Or subscriber has some kind of a file handle entry has some kind of update method. So U32 subscribers length. So this is always a reference. We only store references to this. And we also have to acquire the mutex for the file cache, because what we're changing is the file cache. So this is already wrong. This also needs the file cache guard. This is I don't know where this is going. So it also needs a file cache guard, because there might be other resources. And we can't really put an article when on this when the file cache is not available. So pthread mutex t, make this a void. So this probably only needs destroy, we don't need anymore, and a pthread mutex t file cache guard. Result file cache guard is equal to file cache guard, and articles. This now has to include pthread.h. And in our main, where we init the resource, we have to init the file cache first. Build static file cache. So here we have a file cache, and now so if no, we init, so we have a articles resource destroy resource. We don't need this anymore. We init no. Now we init the resource with the file cache guard. Build the static file cache. So file cache php thread file cache guard file cache guards. That's the dot resource. So we put an article, then we do acquire the resource file cache guard, because in this case also in the file cache we have to now use this mutex where we say pthread mutex lock if this is equal to -1, so pthread mutex lock file cache guard, and in the end we unlock it. Okay. Also, when we push it, we probably want to do the same thing. We lock it and we unlock it in the end. This is an articles pthread mutex t what? pthread, this is a reference. Mutex lock, mutex unlock. So does this still work? Is it now deadlocked? Unlock. Lock. Mutex init. So when we build this, why is it deadlocking? When we are getting Okay, so that's interesting. Init the file cache in our articles. So build the file cache. I wonder why that is the case. So now we're deadlocked because the connection isn't closed. Now get should release the mutex. Pthread mutex. Why are we deadlocked? So let's GDB HTTP server and break at get. Run. Unlock. Oh, okay, so okay, because I'm stupid. And get. If this is equal to 1. Print bool. So I think we should do it differently, and we should set the red val. So set red val is equal to 1. I16 red val is equal to 0. Return -1, blah 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 blah. Return -1. Return red val. And also here we can break. Okay, so let's try again. So that works now. So that's okay, so the mutex is released. Okay. So in our articles, let's go back to this. So we have some title, which is, I don't know, 128, I don't know. And preview size is maybe 256. And car preview the size. Okay. And we also have const expr u8 max articles preview. Make it equal to 16. I don't know. So in that case, we also have article article previews, max article previews, and u32 article preview length. Okay. So in our articles dot cpp, we have, okay, so in init we say result subscribers length is equal to 0 and articles preview length also 0. Okay. Okay, so we can add a subscriber, which is a file handle entry. File handle, and we say if resource subscribers length is equal to max subscribers, return -1. If subscribers otherwise we say resource subscribers plus resource u32 and subscribers equal to resource subscribers length and subscribers plus n subscribers star is equal to the file handle. Okay. So this way we can add a subscriber. And when we put an article, we want to notify the subscriber. With our new articles. So also we would need some, so notify our subscribers. To do notify our subscribers. So parse the article preview and the markdown to HTML. Convert markdown to HTML. Notify our subscribers. Yep. Okay. So this we would have to do now. I think I make a coffee first and then start this, or shall we do this tomorrow? We could also come back to this and start with the sign up and Postgres or MySQL or SQLite. libpq, something we want to also look into. So database connection for a newsletter sign up. libpq. Yeah. Article previews. So maybe we should call this actually article preview. Article previews. Article preview. Previews length. Subscribers length. So in our init article previews length, so it still works. When we compile compile this with TL. Make clean. Let's make sure this still works. HTTPS. Yeah, still works. Okay. So let's git status, git add dot, git commit dash feature implemented file pushing to articles directory. Push origin master. Okay. I will make myself a coffee right now and be right back. Okay, so let's look at where we left off. Parse article, parse the article preview. This is something we can do. So let's say I16 parse article preview. Or maybe parse article preview. That is, we get some buffer and we get the length, and we also say article preview star results. Okay. Return 0. So let's try to go into mem. Memchar. We try to find a new line, so mem. We also need to include mem here. So memchar. Inside the buffer, we want to, with its length, we want to find a new line. I think this was the way that this worked. Mem. Yep. Memchar. And this returns a pointer, if I'm not mistaken. Memfindcur. Memfindcur. And returns null if there's none. So car star. New line. So header, title, end. If not title and returns -1. Or title end is equal to the buffer. No. If title end is equal to the buffer, return -1. We have to determine the length. So title length u32 is equal to buffer minus title end minus buffer. And if the title length is equal to 0, return -1. Or the title length is greater than the max title length, or whatever I called it. So article title size. Maybe we rename this max title length preview length max title length preview length. It's also max. Max preview length. Return -1. Otherwise, we want to say article preview no, this is the result, so mem copy and the rest. Okay, so the rest of it is so u32 preview length is equal to max preview length if length minus the title length is less than preview max preview length. Then we set the preview length to u32 article length is equal to the entire length minus the so does it include the \n? Yes, it does include the \n. Greater than or equal length minus the title length at title end? No. And it should be -1. The title end -1 minus buffer this is so this has to be so the entire length contains it. should be like this. So if the article length is less than this, then we set this to the article length, and then we mem copy into result. So mem copy title and our result title, and from the buffer and with the title length. And we mem copy because we also need to insert star result title plus the title length is equal to the null terminator. Mem copy this into the preview. How did I call it? Yeah, preview. And with the article length, now the preview length. And the article length, preview length. Then we did it with a preview length. Then we say result, no, star result preview plus the preview length is equal to the null terminator. And that's that. And we also have to, no. So parse article preview, this can be, so article preview star preview is equal to resource article previews plus resource article previews length. We give it the preview and we hand it the buffer with the buffer length. And if this is equal to -1, return -1. Otherwise you say plus plus resource article previews length. Okay. And we want to say to HTML if markdown md2 HTML is equal to -1, return -1. this we probably only do if this is the case. The buffer and the buffer length. Probably some out FD. And then notify the subscribers with a new article. Okay, so maybe update for something like int eyes equals 0 eyes. I is less than resource subscribers length plus I. Update the current subscriber. Resource subscribers plus current subscriber, and update the current subscriber with the article or the preview. And we probably also want to push to file cache. So this also needs the file cache. To be updated. Something like that. Yeah, so I guess we leave it off with that and come back tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye.